Hello, ladies and gentlemen, I am the Grand Cat, and it's time for the Christmas countdown of December 2022, where I list the top 25 favourite wrestlers, and today we are on number 7. Yes, that's right, you only have 6 days until Christmas, so make sure that you are all prepared for the big Santa Claus coming down your chimney, as we go to number 7, who is another big man that wears red, and we are, of course, talking about Yokozuna. Yes, Yokozuna is someone that I had the honour of actually seeing in person in a little town in Scotland called the Greenock. There was a Greenock Town Hall where the big main event was Yokozuna came to this little small area in Scotland and performed. And once he had left WWF, he had left because they tried to get him to lose weight and things, and he didn't really want to, and he wanted to continue wrestling. He went around, he went on tours and things, and I'm not sure. I think he possibly passed away just a few weeks after I'd seen him, but he was tremendously huge. I mean, they had to open the double doors for him to fit through, and I remember just being in awe of how absolutely massive big old Yokozuna was. And at the time, I 100% believed that he was Japanese. I mean, back then, you didn't know that he was actually Samoan. But, I mean, we do know now. And Big Yoko is one of the best big guys, probably the best big guy that there's ever been. I mean, there's no one that's been as athletic, that can just pull out super kicks and things, that is 600 plus pounds. And I think he was over 700 pounds by the time that I had seen him in the Greenock Town Hall. And I mean, he could still move, he could still run the ropes, he could still do everything. And I remember Jim Cornette saying that, when he dropped the leg drop, it was as soft as a pillow. He was so good at protecting people. But I mean, if he didn't like you, then he could land his weight on you. Yeah, yeah. There's sometimes you'd see that. I mean, if you look at some videos of Yokozuna doing the banzai drop, you'll see sometimes he'll catch himself with his feet and he won't do much. But then there's other times that he just lets his feet go and he just lands full 600 pounds down the person's chest, and then Jim Cornette would say that he would apologise to the guy afterwards. But I mean, Yokozuna is also such a great guy. Rikishi has said, multiple times about the times that Big Yoko has, it helped them out. Helped out him and his entire Samoan family as well. That he wasn't a guy that kept all the money to himself. He really was all about his his family, and he was like, as head of the table, everyone is going to eat, it's not all just for him, and he wasn't a big egotistical guy or anything like that, but he was just really, an absolute legend of the business. There's no other way to say it. He was, just a true legend. I mean, such a huge guy. I mean, most guys that are big couldn't do half of the things that Yokozuna could do. I mean, guys that were half the size of Yokozuna couldn't do the things that Yokozuna could do. And not only that, but I mean, the way that he carried himself, the way that he presented himself as a champion, and being just a huge obstacle to overcome. I mean, I remember him winning the Royal Rumble, and the way that he wins is, right, so what's supposed to happen was Randy Savage was supposed to do the Savage elbow drop. And then Yokozuna was supposed to push him out, from lying on him, over the top rope. But instead, for some reason, Matchman Randy Savage goes for a pin. And I think that was just to get into the position for Yokozuna to throw him out over the top rope from lying down, just to show just how absolutely powerful, the big man was. And not just that, but I mean, everything about the way, strength, speed. I mean, he didn't really get a chance to do much on microphone, and that was by design because he had Mr. Fuji be his mouthpiece. And the whole idea was that Yokozuna wasn't supposed to be able to speak English. He was supposed to be, this Japanese foreign heel, a big villain for, the great American, well, the Great American, Hulk Hogan initially, and then strangely the Canadian Hope of Bret Hart, and then the Great American Lex Luger. It's, that was a very different time. Back when like, oh, the foreign person is the heel. Very outdated at this point, and rightly so. I mean, we shouldn't be in that kind of scenario any longer. But no, Yokozuna was just absolutely fantastic. I mean, what a massive legend of a guy. I mean, not only was he massive in stature, but I mean, in his spirit and everything that he embodies. I mean, he really was the original head of. Well, I mean, he wasn't the original head of the Samoan table. Of course, there was Afa and Sika that came long before Yokozuna. But I mean, he was the first one to take Samoans up to the World Championship level, and then to stay there. And I mean, some of his matches that he had with the likes of Undertaker and things, like the casket match between Yokozuna and Undertaker, that was a fantastic match, and it had such a great lead up to it and everything as well. Where Yokozuna was supposed to be scared of the casket, and they brought out like the double wide casket, the huge casket and everything, and then they buried the Undertaker. They put the Undertaker into the casket, and they set it on fire. And then Undertaker appears on the Titantron, and like flies up from the Titantron and everything. I mean, it's very, very hokey 1990s, like era, like crap. But it's wonderful in its cartoonishness. And yeah, Big Yokozuna, definitely one of my favourites. Maybe I'm a little bit biased because I actually met him as well, and he's just what a great guy. I mean, like no big WWE superstars would ever like go to Greenock Town Hall. But I mean, like he loved wrestling so much that even when he'd fired from WWE or WF, he was still going around the indie circuits and things. So yeah, absolutely fantastic. But yeah, unfortunately he passed away. He passed away like way too soon. But when you're a big guy like that, you have a lot of problems. I think he had a lot of heart problems, and there's a lot of what ifs. Like if he had managed to drop all the weight, would he have had a better life? Would he have came back? Would he still have been Yokozuna? Would he have like he probably wouldn't have. But I mean, he probably would have transitioned. I mean, he could have been, Rikishi before Rikishi became him. He could have, like, I mean, really just done. I mean, if he lost enough weight, he could be like the, as athletic as the Usos are currently. I mean, that's literally the level of athleticism he had, and he was doing that while he had, like 700 pounds to carry around on him. So, yeah, big guy, big man, big heart, big soul. And that's Big Yokozuna. But that is going to be it for this little video, folks. I really hope that you all enjoyed. If you did enjoy it, please give us a like, share, and subscribe. And if you are subscribed, make sure you click that notification icon and let me know in the comments below who you would have in your top 25, particularly who you would have in your top 10. But that's it for this video, folks. I really hope you all enjoyed, and we will see you all in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.